Szlązak. I'm a doctorand of the Tecnologie Immersive applicate alla Musica. So my presentation is about a project that we did last month. The name of this is Resonance of Stones Listening. This is a project made by a cafe community and with the collection of Marambu sculpture collector. I had a chance to be part of the team responsible for the making music and composition for immersive experience in virtual reality. The goal of our project was, among others, to recreate in virtual reality the Greek tower Basileus from the Naxos island, which was first built as an Orthodox monastery. So we did 3D reconstruction of whole building, but for the listening experience, we used 4 of the rooms. When I joined to this project, there were already recorded 3 pieces in these spaces. It was Greek Orthodox chant Kyrie eleison, Dimitris Papadimitriou song named Sappho, and song of the hymn of the Orthodox composer Cassia, the 5-stringed lute and five-fold lamp. It was performed, recorded by guitarist and the vocalist. So first, what we did was to select which piece of music will be as an inspiration for which room in this building. We had 3 rooms: the chapel, the very small room, and a rectangle big pink room. So we selected Kyrie eleison to the chapel, the hymn of the Cassia to the small room, and the song Sappho to the pink room. And then it was the possibility to add another place. So there was a terrace where we created another composition originally for this room. And we decided that in each room, the music experience will have different listening effect. So first was the music for the chapel. In each room, there was a sculpture made by Kenyan artists, sculptures, and each sculpture was scanned in 3D to recreate the sculpture in each room. So the first we had Madonna, Mother and Child, by artist John Tabule Abuya Ogao, and our inspiration was this Kyrie eleison song, which was performed differently in different liturgies. In Orthodox, it's just common answer to the prayers of the priest, and in Catholic liturgy, it's responsorial. So there's one solist singing, and the congregation is answering. So we have solo and choir. So we used both inspiration for this experience. Here we have the view of our virtual reality chapel. We put this virtual source of sounds in different places. So the source of the solist song, you cannot see people singing, that only you can hear the voices. So the solist voice is placed in the front of the chapel, and the choir songs are placed around in the central part of the chapel. After this first part with exposition, there are some modulation and transformation in the music. We used voices, sounds of the ancient Greek instruments to connect with the Greek culture, and African instruments to connect with the African culture and heritage. For the second room, named Pink Room because of the colors of the walls, there was a sculpture named Sleeping Bull by artist Peter Kenyanya Oendu. And starting point was the song composed by Dimitris Papadimitriou, and the text, the lyrics of this, it's about mythological motifs about Hermes, Lotus, and the river of Archirond. So the original song has a structure of three-part structure, A, B, C, B, A. And for this room, we decided that the listening effect will be to hear the moving source of the sound. So the vocalist sound is going around the listener, and but the guitarist accompany is stable in one place. It's for the first part of the opera, the original inspiration. Then the composition is changing. We add voices of stones, of masses to express this resonance of stones, this connection between cultures and places. For the small room, it was planned, the sculpture Economic Downturn #2 by Robin Okeyo Mbera. Our inspiration was the hymn about 5 martyrs in Orthodox liturgy, where the composer used their names to tell about their virtues. This was the smallest room, so the listening effects should be different, very intimate, very delicate. So the composer put the main voice in the center of the room, and they can hear the added voices like whispers, like answerings, echoes around the space. For the last place, it was chosen the sculpture Between the Clouds by artist Gerard Motondi Oro, and the composition was made by Kenyan composer Kinya Marangu. She wrote a piece to celebrate the beauty of nature's nocturnal sounds. So we create this experience of terrace only in the night. So when user is going to terrace, they can see the sky with stars and hear the nocturnal sounds of ambient and music using Greek and African instruments. The inspiration for the composer was Oxygen Part 1 by Jean-Michel Jarre. She used both African and Greek instruments for her composition. And what was special about this, it was that one of the sculpture masters recorded all the sounds what he produced during working on the sculpture. And there are just images of what kind of tools he used, and he recorded it and sent to the composer, and Kinya used that sounds in her composition. So during listening this composition, a user can participate in the process of making the sculpture. First part is is very peaceful, with not so many instruments. And for the specialization, we decided to have binaural stereo sounds to not focus on the placement of the source, but on this additional sounds of process of making sculptures. This sounds appears in the center of the composition, and she described what kind of instrument of tools was used for this. And the composition finishes with the melody repeats the last time, and we can hear the few finished strikes of the hammer and chisel. For this experience, we proposed to users, suggested what can they focus on during listening, to have more attentive listening, to focus on some parts which could be interesting for them. So when users are starting the experience, they can see panels with instructions how to use goggles and controllers, and also how can they listen to the music, what focus on the source of the sound, focus on the instruments, focus on the difference to listening from different parts of the rooms, and try to find the meaning, the connection between cultures, between the stones. We also added ambient sounds. One was recorded in Nairobi during the night, and another ambient was recorded in Naxos. So we put the sources of the sound around the rooms, and there are possibility to open the window, and when you open the window you can hear the animals, wind, insects from that places that we refer to during this experience. So we also added some questions that can help listener focus on that kind of sounds. For about the more technical part of this project, there will be another presentation today, presented by Gianluca Resu, who was responsible for all this technical making of this music. So if you have any questions about programs and process of realization of this project, you can ask him after his presentation.